What if I told you there's a silent war being waged inside our bodies? And no, it's not some new virus or bacteria. It's an invisible imbalance happening at the very core of our biology, right inside our cells. This imbalance is quietly fueling a massive global health crisis. And in this explainer, we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to show you exactly how to fight back.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. We're living in this age of incredible medical breakthroughs and scientific discoveries, right? Yet, by almost every single measure, chronic disease is getting worse, not better, year after year. This isn't just bad luck. It's a full-blown crisis that demands our attention right now.
Get this, over half, 50%, of all deaths across the entire globe are now caused by inflammatory diseases. Think about that for a second. That's 1 out of every 2 people. This isn't just about getting older anymore. It's about a fundamental breakdown happening inside our bodies.
And when we say crisis, we're talking about the illnesses that have come to define our modern world. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, and this explosion of autoimmune disorders. On the surface, they all look so different, don't they? But science is now showing us they all share the same devastating root cause. So what is the connection? How can all these seemingly unrelated diseases be linked? Well, the secret is hidden deep inside the 37 trillion cells that make you, you. It all boils down to a critical biological marker called the omega ratio. The key word here is essential. It means your body literally cannot make omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids on its own. You absolutely must get them from the food you eat. Why? Because they are the literal bricks and mortar for the walls of every single cell in your body. The easiest way to think about this is like fire and water. Omega-6 is the fire. It starts the pro-inflammatory response, which you need for healing when you get an injury. But omega-3, that's the water. Its job is to come in and put the fire out. Both are vital, but they have to be in balance to properly manage your body's inflammation control system, known as the eicosanoid pathway.
So what does a healthy balance look like? Well, decades of science point to a ratio of 3-to-1 or better. 3 parts fire to 1 part water. This is the safe zone where your body can effectively manage inflammation and keep everything running smoothly.
But here's the shocking reality of our modern world. Thanks to processed foods, the average person is walking around with a ratio of 25-to-1. That is not a controlled campfire for healing. That's a raging, out-of-control forest fire inside the body. We have way too much fire starter and not nearly enough water to put it out.
And please, don't think this is a rare issue. It's not. Based on an analysis of nearly 1 million blood tests from around the world, a staggering 97% of the population, 97%, is living in this unbalanced pro-inflammatory danger zone. So what happens when this fire is just burning inside you day after day, year after year? It creates a condition that scientists now recognize as the bedrock of almost every chronic disease: systemic inflammation.
Now, this isn't like the swelling you get from a cut. This is a silent, low-level smolder that never turns off. Your immune system gets stuck in the on position, and it eventually starts getting confused and attacking your own healthy tissues and organs.
And this damage starts at the cellular level, the very foundation of your health. This inflammation directly attacks the walls of your cells. So the real question is, what happens when those walls, your cell membranes, start to fail? Well, a healthy cell membrane with plenty of omega-3 is soft and fluid. It acts like a perfect gatekeeper. Nutrients get in and toxic waste gets out. But a cell membrane built with too much omega-6 becomes hard, rigid, and inflamed. Now, nutrients are blocked, waste gets trapped inside, and the cells can't even communicate with each other properly. You are only as healthy as your cells. Okay, so the solution seems pretty simple, right? Just take more omega-3s. For millions, that means grabbing a bottle of fish oil. But this is where we uncover what I call the stability scandal. You're probably thinking this right now. I take my fish oil every day, I should be fine. And you'd think so. But the data shows the average person already taking a standard fish oil supplement still has a ratio of about 7-to-1. That's way outside the safe zone. So why aren't they working? It's a 3-step failure. First, the industrial refining process strips out all the natural antioxidants, called polyphenols, that protect the oil in nature. Without that protection, the fragile omega-3s start to oxidize. They basically go rancid, sometimes before you even open the bottle. And that rancid, oxidized oil isn't just useless. Your body can't absorb it, and it can actually do more harm than good. So if the most common solution is failing, what's the answer?
We need a totally new way of thinking about this. A new paradigm that's based not on guessing, but on testing and getting real, measurable results. The breakthrough was to simply mimic nature. By taking powerful polyphenols from a specific type of pre-harvest olive and binding them back to the purified fish oil, it creates a natural shield. This shield protects the fragile omega-3s from oxidation all the way from the bottle until they are safely inside your cell membranes. But how can you be sure it's working for you? You test. It's a simple, at-home, dried blood spot test that's analyzed by Vetus, a completely independent, world-class lab in Norway. You measure your ratio before you start, and you measure it again after 120 days. No more guesswork, period. And the proof is right there in the data. Look at this real-world example. A retired scientist, very health-conscious guy, his first test came back at 74-1. I mean, dangerously out of balance. After just 120 days on the balance oil, his second test was 3.5-1. He went from the danger zone to a state of perfect balance. The proof is undeniable. This leads us to the final and, frankly, most crucial point. What is the real cost of ignoring this foundational part of your health? The choice couldn't be clearer. You can invest a small amount every day in prevention, an amount that's often less than a cup of coffee, to restore your body's natural balance at the cellular level. Or you can risk the alternative, the catastrophic financial and personal cost of treating a chronic disease down the road. So the ultimate takeaway is this. Your health is built upon a foundation of 37 trillion cells. Are those cells fighting a silent inflammatory war, or are they healthy, fluid, and balanced? It's time to stop guessing and start testing. It's time to restore your balance.